हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is a Friday. It is 25th of July. It is Sridhar Masa, Shravana Masa, Sukla Paksham, and the Pratipat or Padhami. So the first day of the Sukla Paksha. But there are no Vishnu events in the calendar. So we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is describing to Parikshit Maharaj about the conversations between Uddhava and Vidura. So Vidura has heard all the pastimes of Krishna from Uddhava, but in a brief manner. So even though Vidura understood, but again she has heard all the pastimes of the Lord from Uddhava. Viduropi Viduropi Buddhva Shrutva Krishnasya Paramatmanah Kriya Upata Dehasya Karmani Slagitani Cham Krishnasya Paramatmanah, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul of everyone. Kridaya Upata Dehasya, he has accepted his body just like a Kridaya. And then Karmani Shlagitani cha, and then he has performed all the different transcendental pastimes. They're all glorious. So Vidura has heard all these things. Viduropi Buddhvat Shrutva. So after saying that, Sukadeva Goswami is saying further about leaving of Krishna's body, and which is whenever Krishna is departing to his abode, so it appears to the other people. It is like a increasing the encouragement for the devotees, and it will be a mental speculation for the different people. They cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also whoever are like a asuric, demonic people, it is a mental disturbance. So something like that. Sukadeva Goswami is describing today to Parikshit. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 4, verse number 34. देहन्यासं च तस्यैवं धीराणां धैर्यवर्धनम् अन्येषां दुष्करतरं पशूनां विक्लवात्मनां देहन्यासं च तस्यैवं. So previously, Sukadeva Goswami mentioned Kridaya Upata Dehasya Karmani Shlagitani cha. Upata Dehasya, accepting the body, Karmani Shlagitani cha, glorious pastimes of the Lord. Now starting from the Dehanyasam cha Tasyevam. Dehanyasam is so leaving off his body. Dehanyasam cha Tasyevam Dhiranam Dhairyavardhanam. Dehanyasam. But here it is mentioning as entering the body, and also cha, also tasya, his evam also. So nyasam is generally living. Karma nyasam, deha nyasam, sanyasam. So these are all living. So deha nyasam cha tasyevam dhiranam dhairyavardhanam. Dhiranam of the great sages, who is in the equilibrium condition of his mind. He always keeps himself equal to everything, and then he does duty. He is a duty bound person. He does not have any ragha dvesha. He is equilibrium. his mind is in the equilibrium state. Dhiranam dhairyavardhanam. Dhairya is the courage. Vardhanam is increasing. Dhairyavardhanam. So here, dhairya is the perseverance and vardhanam is increasing. So likewise, dehanyasam cha tasyaivam dhiranam dhairyavardhanam. So it is encouragement for the devotees, all the Krishna's pastimes. Krideya upada dehasya karmani shlagitani cha dehanyasam cha tasyaivam dhiranam dhairyavardhanam. These are all encouraging to the devotees. Dehanyasam cha tasyaivam dhiranam dhairyavardhanam. Anyesham dushkaram taram. And for other people, anyesham, for others, dushkarataram, very difficult to ascertain. They cannot digest and understand the pastimes of the Lord. Anyesham dushkarataram. Pasunam viklavatmanam. Pasunam is of the beasts, so who are in the mode of ignorance. They do not know what is right, what is not right. They act are just like a animal propensity. Pasunam viklavatmanam. So dharmo hihena pasubihi samana. So who does not follow the dharma, they're all pasubihi samana. Pasunam viklavatmanam. Viklavatmanam is, so they're atmanam, with a disturbed mind. They cannot understand or digest at all. So these are different kinds of pastimes. So krideya upata dehasya karmani shlagitani cha dehanyasam cha tasyaivam dhiranam dhairyavardhanam anyesham dushkarataram pashunam viklavatmanam. These are all pastimes of Krishnasya Paramatmanaha. So these are all Viduropi api buddhava shrutva. So these two verses 33 and 34, they are connected together. Okay, of course, everything is connected, but these two are like his appearance and his pastimes, his living of his body, and also how devotees understand, how non-devotees cannot understand, and pasus, how the animalistic propensity people, they were mentally disturbed by looking at the or hearing about the pastimes of the Lord. Okay, likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. देहन्यासं च तस्यैवं धीरानं धैर्यवर्धनम् अन्येषां दुष्करतरं पशूनां विक्लवात्मनां. Translation for this shloka. The Lord's glorious acts and his acceptance of various transcendental forms for the performance of extraordinary pastimes in the mortal world are very difficult for anyone other than his devotees to understand. And for the beasts, they are simply a mental disturbance. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Saranya Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. The transcendental forms and pastimes of the Lord, as described in Bhagavad Gita, are difficult subject matters for those who are not devotees to understand. The Lord never reveals himself to persons like the jnanis and yogis. And there are others who, because of their envying the Lord from the bottom of their heart, are classified amongst the beasts. And for such envious beasts, the subject matters of the Lord's appearance and disappear is simply a mental disturbance, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.15. The miscreants who are simply concerned with material enjoyment, who work very hard like beasts of burden, can hardly know the personality of Godhead at any stage due to Asuriga Bhava, or a spirit of revolt against the Supreme Lord. Revolt against the Supreme Lord. The transcendental bodily expansions manifested by the Lord for his pastimes in the material mortal world, and the appearance and disappearance of such transcendental expansions are different subject matters, and those who are not devotees are advised not to discuss the Lord's appearance and disappearance, lest they commit further offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord. The more they discuss the transcendental appearance and disappearance of the Lord in the Asuric spirit, the more they enter into the darkest region of hell, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 16.20. Anyone who is against the transcendental loving service of the Lord is more or less a beastly creature, as confirmed in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here in this purport, the transcendental forms and the pastimes of the Lord. So yavanaham yatarupo यद्रूपगुणकर्मकः तदैव तत्त्वविज्ञानम् अस्तु ते मदनुग्रहात्. When does that madanugrahat? By my mercy you would understand my name, form, pastimes, everything. So whenever Krishna gives the knowledge to Brahma, he mentions that one. यावानहं यथा भावो यद्रूपगुणकर्मकः तथैव तत्त्वविज्ञानम् अस्तु मे मदनुग्रहात्. So everything would reveal to you, O Brahma, by my mercy. So to receive that mercy, one must be inclined towards the devotional service. Without a devotional service, no one can receive anything from the Lord. Of course, the basic necessities he will provide as a matter for, as a father gives nourishes children as a matter of duty. But if the child is more loving towards the father, then he has more affection. He would reveal more secrets. Okay, so these are all the transcendental forms and pastimes of the Lord as described in the Bhagavad Gita are difficult subject matters for those who are not devotees to understand. The Lord never reveals himself to the persons like the jnanis and yogis. So they are very intelligent. They think that they are very intelligent. Jnanis and yogis, they think that they have got some powers. But Sadrusosti Siva Panta Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye Na Ijjumaniyo Bhaktya Bhagavati Akilatmani Sadrusosti Siva Panta Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye. So one may have got jnana, the knowledge, everything, unless they are engaging those knowledge and those siddhis in the service of the Lord. Like Hanuma also Hanuma has got so many siddhis. So he has engaged in the service of Ramchandra, in the supreme. Then it is useful for everyone as well. And his name and fame are also glorified later on because he is simply a servant of the Lord. So otherwise it is not possible. So that's why Hanuma always chants Rama's name and he keeps Rama in his heart all the time. So Lord reveals to him in the similar way. The Lord never reveals himself to persons like jnanis and yogis. And there are others who, because of their envying the Lord from the bottom of their hearts, are classified among the beasts. And for such envious beasts, the subject matter of Lord's appearance and disappearance is simply a mental disturbance. This is a simply mental disturbance for them. They cannot understand. So they would describe in different ways because of enviousness, envying the Lord from the bottom of their hearts. So they may be thinking that, oh, I am this religion, I am that religion, why should I just respect them? In such a way, because of the people, they categorize the people like you are Hindu, you are that person, you are this person, like that. They will make enviousness towards the person who is supreme personality of Godhead because those people they worship the supreme Lord. In such a way, they will make uh, they're envying the Lord from the bottom of their hearts, are classified among the beasts. So, and Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, so this Bhagavad Gita 7.15, it is Namam Dushkritino Modaha Prapadhyante Naradamaha Maya Apahruta Jnana Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha. This is four kinds of miscreants. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of the demons, do not surrender unto me. So these are the Duskritino Modaha Prapadyante Naradamaha. One is the Moda, Naradhama, and Maya Aparuta Dhyana and Asuram. Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha. These are the four kinds of demonic people. Modas, Naradamas, Maya Purushadhanas, and Asuram Bhavam Ashrita, those four kinds of people. They cannot enter into the pastimes of the Lord. These miscreants who are simply concerned with the material enjoyment, who work very hard like beasts of burden, can hardly know the personality of Godhead at stage due to the Asuri, Asurika Bhava, or the spirit of revolt against the Supreme Lord. They wanted to lord it over material nature. They do not want to surrender to the Supreme Lord. They do not want to give up their material enjoyment. So they're all Asuri Bhavam. Okay, so they wanted to live in the material body. So on the other day, Gauranga Prabhu was mentioning that Asuri is splitting the word into Asu. Asu means the life who wanted to keep the life here within the body for a long time. They're all called Asuras, and for their enjoyment, material enjoyment. That is Asuras. But another meaning is the Sura is the demigods, Asura is the opposite to the demigods in another way. Okay, so there are different way of explaining this Sanskrit. So here, Prabhupada is describing they're all Asuric Bhava, or the spirit of revolt against the Supreme Lord. They cannot understand the Supreme Lord pastimes. The transcendental bodily expansions manifested by the Lord for his pastimes in the mortal world and the appearance and disappearance of such transcendental expansions are difficult subject matters. Difficult subject matters. They cannot understand how can one Krishna maintain 16,108 wives in that many number of houses? How he can beget exactly only 10 boys and one daughter in each and every wife? How it is possible? It is very, they try to put some logics. It is very difficult for them to understand. And those who are not devotees are advised not to discuss the Lord's appearance and disappearance, lest they commit further offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord. So, if they are trying to discuss, they make more mistakes. Prabhupada is mentioning here, and that would make them to fall into Moda Janmani, uh, and then they will fall down into lowest creatures. So the more they discuss the transcendental appearance and disappearance of the Lord in the Asuric spirit, the more they enter into the darkest region of hell, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 16:20. So here, Asurim yonimapanna muhura janmani mam aprapya eva kaunteya tato yanti adamam gatim. Asurim yonim apanna. Asrim yoni means demoniac species of life. Asrim yoni mapanna. Moda janmani. And Moda is the foolish. Janmani, the birth after birth. Mam aprapya iva kaunteya. And without getting Krishna, mam, me, aprapya eva. So certainly they cannot attain Krishna, or they cannot go to the abode of the Lord. Mama pratyaiva kaunteya tato yanti adhamam gatim. And then instead of going upwards, they will go downwards into the animalistic species of life. Tato yanti adhamam. It is the condemned life. Gatim. That is their destination. Yes, here Prabhupada is saying that if they're discussing Krishna's pastimes in an asuric mode, they will enter into the lowest species of life. Anyone who is against the transcendental loving service of the Lord is more or less a beastly creature, as confirmed in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Pasunam Viklavatmanam. Okay, so this is categorizing the people who understand the Supreme Lord's pastimes in a different way, depends on their mood. Devotees, Dhiranam Dhairyavardhanam, Anyesham Duskaratam, Pasunam Viklavatmanam. Three kinds of people are described. Dhiranam is the devotees of the Lord, Dhairyavardhanam. It is encouraging for them. And then Anyesham Duskarataram, other people cannot understand who have not executed the devotional service. But and also lower than them, Pasunam Viklavatmanam. And for the Pasus are animalistic beings or who doesn't know what is right, what is not right, what is dharma, what is not dharma. For them it is a mental disturbance, Viklavatmanam. Okay, likewise, Prabhupada is describing here. Dhiranam Dhairyavardhanam. Dhairyavardhadhyara is again once Krishna number of times he mentioned Savai Dhira Buddha who is equipoised in each and everything. All the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he has mentioned Dhira. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam dhira तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति ही धीर सत्र न मुख्यति धीरः Tatra namuhyati, he will not be bewildered by the change. He is called Dhira. He is duty bound. He would stay in this material world as long as he is allowed to stay, and he is not attached to this material world, and then he leaves. Gata swadham imam deham virupto mukta bandhanaha avidyata gatirjahya savai dhira buddha. This is the Vidra's statement. Gataswadham imam deham. So far he has enjoyed enough. And then Virupta Mukta Bandhanaha. And now he has to detach from this material entanglement. Virupta Mukta Bandhanaha. Avidnyata Gatirjahyad. And without telling anyone at what particular state, when his body is no more useful to anyone in the home, then Avidnyata Gatirjahyad. Without telling anyone, leaving the home. Gatihi Jahyad. Savai Dhira Udahritaha. He is called the Dhira. But some of our family members, if the person is not a devotee, they will just go and bring them wherever he is and advertising him that this person is lost and then bring him back into the home and putting into the material entanglement again. But here, devotees, we do not have to worry about the devotees if they are going out of the home at uh, after certain age, after 18 years or 75 years. So many of our pastimes in the either great sages or kings or brahmanas, they have all gone to the Bhagavata Praptihi. That is called Bhagavat. If he is a devotee, he is enlightened in the transcendental knowledge. So likewise, Hrikutva harim gehat pravrajesa narottamaha. Again, there is a further statement. Yaswakat paratova yaswakat paratova iha jata nirveda atmavan. Jata nirveda atmavan. Kritikutva harim gehat pravrajet sa narottamaha. And then one has, by his personal endeavor, one has to understand the Atma Tattva. Yah swakat paratova iha. So in this material world or in this body, by his personal endeavor or by taking the help of others, yah swakat paratova iha jat nirveda atmavan. And understanding the transcendental knowledge somewhere or other by his personal endeavor or associating with the devotees like that, then Kriti Krutva Harim Gehat, keeping the Lord in his heart, and then he is leaving the home. He is called Pravrajet Sa Narottamaha. He is called Narottama, best of the human beings. Here two people are mentioned, Dhira and Narottama. Dhira is who is equipoised, and Narottama is who is keeping the Lord in the heart and then leaves. He is Narottama. He has already Janma Sadhak Kari. Okay, likewise, different statement mentions here. Here, Dhiranam Dhairyavardhanam. So by hearing Krishna Katha, so it would encourage the devotees. Dhiranam Dhairyavardhanam. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Dehanyasam cha tasyaivam dhīrānam dhairyavardhanam anyesham duskarataram pasunam viklavatmanam. Okay, likewise, Sukadeva Goswami mentions. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily reflect. Letter to Yogeshwara, October 4th, 1970, Calcutta. Okay, can I request unallocated devotee to read this letter, please? And Mataji, are you available, Mataji?
Hare Krishna. My dear Yogeshwara, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you so much for your letter dated September 21st, 1970, along with your copy of Who is God, a children's introduction to Krishna consciousness, which I see you have done with great care. I have gone through the book and I think it is very nice. Devananda and others have also seen it and have also approved your efforts. But I think this book is meant for somewhat older children, about 10 to 15 years. We are also immediately requiring some books for much younger children, say 5 to 10 years age. Another thing, you just see that every and each item and example for discussion is made very clear in continuous context so that it will be easy for their understanding. As you have done this first book, it is very good beginning, so you go on writing and improving and make a series of such books, and we shall see to their printing. Also have the pictures done very nicely and in color if possible, as it is done by our art department in Boston. And if you have any question in this regard, you may correspond with them directly. That will be very nice. In the meantime, have all your works read by the other devotees as they may find it convenient to do so, and they can give you further suggestions. So go on writing more books. We need many such books for distributing to the public schools as well as for our own schools, and send me the draft copies as you make them up. I will be very glad to see them. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from this letter?
So, in this letter, um, Yogeshwara Prabhuji, he's the writer of Who is God, which is a children's book for Krishna consciousness, and the book is as per Prabhupadaji's review. He says that the book is good, but he finds that it is more suitable towards older children, like about 10 to 15 years, and he is asking the devotee to try to make it a bit more simple so that even younger children can read it and find it easier to understand. So in that way, it makes, if younger children are able to understand as well, then he wants as much as possible to for the younger kids to understand as well, so to cater to them, he's asking the book to be made as per the children's requirement. And he says he likes the book very much. He says there's so much effort into the book, and he is motivating him to keep on writing more and more, and also to put the pictures, and also that he's also praising how the pictures are done very nicely. And since he's the writer, he's asking if there's any question, then they can correspond with each other directly, so that things will things will be solved quickly as well. And he's also asking other devotees to ask other devotees to read the book so that they can give their suggestion as well. So if he gets suggestion from other people, from other Prabhujis as well, then more people, more suggestions, so it will be easier to make the book more better. So yes, that's it. In this, he has talked about the book and how it should be in going forward time. So yeah, Prabhuji, that's it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for very nicely read and then summarized this letter. Any other comments, devotees, you wanted to add in this context? So that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So Prabhupada is saying he has children books that is very, very important because the children they will grasp everything in the childhood that will last for their life. Whatever they learn in the childhood, it will last for their life. So sometimes what happens in the children books, the few terms used, myths, and then it is called tales. These are not the right words to use in publishing these books. These are not tales or myths. These are the past times, the history. Puranas means the past times in the very bygone ages or days of yore, very, very old, but they are preserved by our great sages. So these are not myths or tales. These are past times, histories. Okay, so the very right terms to be used, otherwise people will ignore it. It is just a myth. It is just a tale. Why do I need to understand this tale like that? So we need to be very careful what kind of terms we use. So it must be a real word. It is past times of the Lord. Okay. So this is Prabhupada's instructions. So we need to target the children at least 5 years of age. There are so many books they are targeting even 1 year old babies as well. So they are with funnily they will try to learn and see everything else. Of course, these are the books, but actually, if they are engaged in the services in the temple, or parents are taking them to the temple while speaking and dancing and singing, that is most glorious. Okay, so but if you're targeting the books, but who didn't have chance to go to the temples or associate with the devotee, for them, the books are the right target. So if they approach the books, then somewhere or other they will come into Krishna consciousness closer in the coming days. Okay, so likewise, Prabhupada is giving some suggestions and instructions to Yogeshwara. Okay, that is my reflection. Any other comments, dear devotees?
Prabhuji, I was just reflecting or just thinking about my childhood that I used to read and I'm sure other people as well, used to read the Amar Chitra Kathas with pictures and lovely story writing in there. But that was, I think, targeted for older children. So I like this one that, they want to target for even younger than that and keep it very simply so people can absorb. Just something that I was reminiscing.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. So these are the very small books with the small pictures. We do not have to be very high level pictures also, but yeah, like small books. We used to see another day some pastimes of Jayadev Goswami. These pastimes, but in a glance we can understand those pastimes how Jayadev Goswami, his wife Padmavati and Jagannath and the composer of all these different kirtans. So it is very nice. And we do not have to read too much of content also and pictures and one or two lines next to it. It would give more insights of the past times. Thank you so much, Mataji. Any other comments? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today Friday we don't have any of our sanghas here, but today I have got chat session today evening. And then tomorrow we continue with our Bhagavatam tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, these are our upcoming events. That's all from updates side from me. And the devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Okay, if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone.